your girl Tysheen, and I'm back with another video. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? So we're gonna react to, right, the backstory of "Love to Love You, Baby." So I react to a song just now by Donna, and I saw a little clip, and I was like, okay, I would like to hear a little backstory of the song, because I was like, you know, if you see the song, the video on my channel, you'll see the expression on my face. I was like, alrighty then. So let's react to this. Let's react. Let's hear a little bit about the song.
Actually, in one afternoon, and I don't know, I just was playing in my mind, recreatively writing words, and I said, I love you. I love loving you. I love to love you. And I kind of came up with the love to love you. And I called Giorgio and I said, Giorgio, I think I have an idea for a song, because at that point I was doing some demos for him, but he was writing them. And I said, I have this really good idea, and I kept singing the thoughts of myself. So I went over to the studio and to his office, and I sang it to him in his ear, and he was like, Donna, yeah, Donna, okay. And he disappeared. And then I was at my apartment, and at the time my phone was broken, and he sent his girlfriend over, and he says, you must come right now to the studio. And I said, why? She said, well, Giorgio worked on that song you gave him. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went over to the studio, and he had done a track. And I started recording the track. And it was kind of funny because, you know, it was a very sexy track, and it was, I loved the music, but I didn't know how to approach the song, because, you know, normally I have a pretty big voice. So when I would try to belt the song, it just, it wasn't working. So I had to think of somebody who I could see singing the song and sing it from their point of view. And I thought of Marilyn Monroe. And I, well, how would Marilyn sing the song? So I made them shut all the lights very soft, some candle in the room. I kind of laid on the floor. I took the...
Now, we all know Marilyn Monroe. So you know how she act and how she approaches things, and how she... We just know we know who she is, and we know how she is. So I can understand what she's saying.
Because I had to look at three men looking at me sing a sexy song. I know them. I don't want to look at them. So, so I began to sing the song, and that was the first version of "Love to Love You, Baby." We did the song. I didn't want to sing the song because it was too sexy to me. For me, I thought somebody else should sing the song, but maybe we put a demo, make a demo, and then we send it to another girl, and she can sing it, and everybody's happy. So Giorgio didn't tell me this, but he took the song to meet him, and he sold the song to Neil Bogart, who had Casablanca Records. I had no knowledge of it. I didn't have a contract. I didn't sign anything, no publishing, nothing. So when the next thing I know, I got very, very ill for about 2 months. I was in the hospital for a month, and I was in bed for another month. And then this is right after I recorded "Love to Love You, Baby." And this is while Georgia was in Medium and all this. In that time, I was in the hospital. Nobody knew where I was at. I was in the in Schwarzwald, and I had a problem with my heart at the time. And so I was there for a month, and then I was home in bed for a month. And then at the end of that, I had a 10-day, what do you call it, cruise on a ship. And so I went on the 10-day cruise, but when I came home, there were flowers and dead flowers in bottles a lot in front of my door. I didn't know why they were there. I thought somebody was trying to do voodoo on me. I did. And so, then, strike that. So then, Giorgio's girlfriend came over again and said, you have to go with me. We have to buy you clothes. You have to go to Europe. I mean, to him. She said, his girlfriend came, Helga. She picked me up. She said, Giorgio wants to meet with you. We have to go buy clothes for you for America. I said, what are you talking about? She says, you got to go to America now. They put your record out. I'm like, I don't have a record. What are you talking about?
What she mean by America? She's not American.
No knowledge of any of it. And I had no contract, nothing. And it was already out there. I couldn't pull it back at that point. It was gone. You know, and life as I knew it was over in that moment. And so I went shopping with Giorgio. We bought a pile of clothes, and we went to America. And that was the beginning of my life in America.
How was it like in America to very rare? I think probably the only case for an
I really thought she was American. Wow. Okay, I learned something today.
American artist coming from Germany with the German production from Munich and making it in the US. How was the reception?
Reception was amazing. I mean, I was totally in shock because I had no idea that the record was on the radio. I knew nothing. Even they didn't tell me anything when I went there. I thought I was going to do some press. You know, I didn't even realize that it was already on the air, or I knew nothing. So they just kept saying, we're going to go meet the people in America, but we have to look good. We're going to play this song in a couple of discotheques and blah, blah, blah. But the song was already out. And so I came and I sang Love to Love You Baby with this. They bought me this beautiful dress, and I sang Love to Love You Baby and did a little dance sort of. And to me, I was acting out a part because I didn't know who to be. And so that was the beginning of the Love to Love You Baby image. Giorgio had a photographer in Germany. You know, I laid down on a thing and he said, okay, we got to make this nice and try to make it sexy. I was very nervous. I wasn't used to being sexy like that. I mean, I was a church girl. And so I was fighting the whole way, like, Giorgio, this is too much. It's too risky for me. And he said, it's okay. It's going to be good. We're not going to show anything, I promise. And so I wound up doing the photo, that first cover, and that was it.
You just said like when the song first came out or went to the media, you didn't even sign a contract,
Nothing.
no rights, nothing. Was there moments that you thought if they would have proposed it to me, I wouldn't have signed?
No, I wouldn't have. I would not. I wouldn't. That's why they did it that way, because I didn't want to be on the record. I wanted them to.
So they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. They rushed that because they knew that she probably wouldn't sign it. She, like she said, she's a church woman, so she probably didn't feel comfortable singing that song and performing it. Wow, poor thing.
Give it to somebody else. And there were a couple of other girls that were around I thought would be good for that song because they were already like, you know, and so I was much more of a comedian. Yeah, I was always the funny person. So, I mean, if you ask anybody that knows me from that time, I mean, I was always making jokes and acting funny, like I Love Lucy or something. But so this was an adjustment for me. And so when I went to America, they kept saying, just tell me you're sexy, just tell me you're sexy. I said, well, I know what sexy is. You want me to just act that way. Okay, just act like you're sexy. So I just would always use Marilyn Monroe kind of as my idea of what I thought was sexy. And so at some point I did a takeoff of Marilyn Monroe, which we called the Black Marilyn. And that was kind of the influence it had, because I thought that Marilyn, I mean, she did some nude photos, but I thought in general that she was kind of, had an innocence about her sexuality that I liked. And even though people thought that she was, you know, not that smart, she was actually a very smart woman, very well read. But that was her act. And so, anyway.
One thing I've learned about Marilyn Monroe is that, of course I don't know her personally, of course, but one thing I learned about her is that she's a Gemini, just like me. We're both Geminis. And people think that she's dumb, but she's really not. She's just probably playing dumb, but she's a smart woman. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing, okay? And her acting sexy, she's not acting sexy. That's just who she is. You know, so she's naturally a sexy woman, you know. So, yeah. But I can understand what Donna was saying. But this was a very interesting interview. I learned a little bit about her. I was a little off guard, but her saying she has to go to America. I thought she was American. But I think when he said that she lived in Germany. Did I misunderstood? I think she is from America. She moved to Germany. She moved to Germany and then she's going back to America. I think, right? Am I misunderstood what he said? Yeah, but I just wanted to, I just want to learn a little bit more about the song. So there you go. Because that song was, woo, love to love you, baby. And that moaning. They probably told her to do that moaning thing. They probably told her to do that. She probably didn't even, poor thing, she probably didn't even want to do that. But they probably told her to do that just to make it more sexy. Make it more hot. But yes, that was your girl, Donna Summer. I think she passed away, if I'm not mistaken. I don't like to, I think she did. Let me see. I think she did. See, I don't remember. Oh, so she is American. Okay, so I was right. So she did pass away. She passed away in 2012. Oh, and she had 3 kids. Oh, okay, all right. So she is American. She's American. So yeah. So comment below. Let me know if you enjoyed that video. Give the video a thumbs up if you're a fan of Donna. You like me to react more of her songs. I would definitely do so. And like I said, I just reacted to her song Love to Love You Baby. I just reacted to it, so go and check that video out. And yeah, and I'll see all of you people. Y'all take care of yourself. Bye and